by far the greatest investment that you can make, and really, truly, honestly, the only investment you should make is the investment on.
You talk about investing a lot, and it's a very wide topic. But how should a 16-year-old like me invest in today's world?
Okay, viewers, this is a very good question. If you're 16 years old and you are looking to gain some financial wealth in your life, the first thing I think we need to bring some context into this question. Okay, son. All right. You have to really first of all identify who you are. Okay. All right. If you're somebody who's 8 feet tall, okay, 7 feet tall, and you can play for the NBA, all right, go play for the NBA. All right. This conversation isn't. This answer isn't for that person. Okay.
Should people
all right?
like that still invest?
Well, I mean, that's up to them. I mean, it's not our place to be able to identify what they should or should not do. Okay, but specifically for the everyday person. Okay, if you don't come from a very wealthy family, okay, all right, where they've got you got 6 generations of money from the Napa Valley vineyard, okay, coming to you. All right, if you're not a trust fund baby, right? Okay, if you're not someone who's particularly athletic, okay, all right, if you're not someone with some particular amazing singing skills where you can learn, where you can instantly become wealthy.
Right, that's like 99% of the.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just by doing something, right? Okay. For the everyday person, okay, I mean, we're talking about the 99% now. We're not talking about the 1% outliers, okay? All right. At 16 years old, by far the greatest investment that you can make, and really, truly, honestly, the only investment you should make is the investment on yourself. Is the investment on yourself, because there will come a day that you will realize that the real asset was always you. It was always you. And what it is that your wisdoms, your maturities, okay, all right, what it is that you do to create value, it all comes back down to you. Okay? Now, in terms of the investment into yourself, there's 2 main areas that you're going to be, that you will want to gain significant education in, and unfortunately these are not things you're going to learn about in school. Okay, the first is you need a financial education, not a professional education, not an academic education, but you will need a financial education. Now, this topic is incredibly deep, and it's truly a life study. It's not something you're going to learn, basically sitting over coffee one morning. Okay, all right. And then the second area is in the area to study into your personal development. In your personal development. Okay, you're the development of your values, the development of your perspective, the development of where you see yourself doing in this world for the community around you, your ability to be able to reserve your temperament, control.
How would you say you should invest? How would you invest in that?
Well, you can do that in a couple of ways. I mean, in 2023 now, we have videos online, we have audiobooks. Okay, all right. But the way that the traditional way that I've done it, okay, is by reading books, by simply reading books, right? Okay. The videos like the one that we are creating right now is a good video for you to be able to start getting some of that education. Okay, to start getting some of that education, but more poignantly for the young men and women out there, okay, that truly want to be able to create not just a fantastic financial life, but really sustainable wealth. At 16 years old, I think that it's a great idea to be able to start learning how to value assets. Assets being businesses, real estate, securities, and commodities. Okay? When we naturally learn how to value consumer goods. Okay? We've been learning that since we're maybe 5 or 6 years old. But for those who want wealth in the future, okay, you need capital. And that's something you're going to be able to acquire. You're going to build up maybe in your 20s and 30s, and everybody will do that in their own individual way, depending on, who they are. Okay, all right, what kind of family they come from, and who they know, and what their network is like, and what kind of skills and talents that they have. But even with the capital, without the knowledge on how to deploy that capital, you won't have money long. Okay, there's an old saying that a fool and his money is soon parted. And that is true.
So in your teens, you should be investing in yourself rather than in actual investment vehicles.
Absolutely, absolutely. At 16 years old, I mean, you don't have a job, you don't have capital, you don't know anybody, you don't have credit to be able to even even be able to leverage any debt service with a bank. You don't know how to file. You don't have anything about tax laws. You don't know how to file your taxes. You're not even legally old enough to be able to open your own LLC. What are you going to do?
Right. When would you make that transition to actually investing?
Well, it's a slow transition, and it's a transition that for different people, like I said, from different backgrounds, they will transition at their own time. Okay, but in general, what you should be doing is from 16 to about 30. Okay, it's about 15 years. That is a critical 15 years for you to be improving on your financial knowledge, and also your personal development. Okay, these are two critical areas. Okay, all right. Being as such, the reason why is because in order to become incredibly wealthy, the way to do that is not just through investing. Okay, all right. It is you've got to be able to build something. We call those people capitalists in today's world, right? And a capitalist is basically someone who takes capital on one hand, labor on the other hand, and puts it together in some kind of patterned arrangements in a very specific time continuum, in a very specific geography, okay, and be able to create a value that far exceeds the cost of creating that value. To be able to do that, you need to have a significant amount of financial education, and you need to have a good, strong sense of personal development so that you have the discipline and the leadership and the maturity to be able to carry through building an army, right? And the people, the employees that are going to be working for you, it's like kids. They're like children, okay? They're employees are like children, okay? All right? And so you have to essentially babysit and herd all of these cats into one area. We call it a business, okay? Into a business. To create that positive value.
So how do you know when you're is there a certain age where you start investing in?
Well, it's not about the age. It's about where you are at your education, son. Okay, all right. And different people will want to do different things, right? So, technically speaking, if the easiest form of investments to just walk into would be possibly something like securities. Okay, all right, something like securities, right? Okay, and that might be investing into some kind of mutual fund, or that could be maybe investing into individual stocks. Okay, all right, but before you go and do it, you can do it at any time you want. You can technically do it at 18 years old. But we're not talking about investing. We're talking about learning how to invest well. Okay, so if you want to invest into, say, for example, a Microsoft, okay, all right, that's trading at say $53 a share, the point that that you are ready is when you can explain through fundamental and technical analysis why buying Microsoft at $53 or $28 or $62, why that's a good price for Microsoft. Okay, you need to be able to identify your time continuum, right? Okay, because in investing, it's about how much, how long, and how short. You need to identify the directionality, the time continuum, and the deviation. Right? Once I can identify those variables and identify that you are buying at a good price based on good fundamental and technical analysis, at that point you can go. Okay? I'd say you're ready to get started. But that could be different for different people. Some people can achieve it at 18 years old. Maybe somebody might even be 50 years old and before they can get started. But it's about understanding the investment. It's about understanding the asset. And that is the point.